Guess that wasn't easy, was it? Yeah. First thing that comes to mind, a tale of two halves. Nothing was easy in that first half, and like I said on the radio, I mean, we got guys breaking out of our offense, and I want to use selfish, but I don't want to use selfish. I think they mean well, but sometimes a little bit of frustration, a little ball pressure, and I think they think they got to put their head down and drive it. When in reality, a lot of times the pass is the best option. So credit to our guys. I told them they had an immense amount of resiliency, resolve, just like the George Mason game. We had some adversity, and we stepped up to the plate and figured out a way to win.
So Josh, players are just saying, halftime they played awful, but only down 6. So you get encouragement even though you didn't play well the first half?
Yeah, 4 for 32. And I told them there's no way you can shoot any worse than that. And I've been in this building and seen a lot of games here as part of the staff, and I kept on thinking back to that Cincinnati game where we set a field goal percentage low. I think it was like 20% for the game. So we were right on track to get there in that first half. I think we shot 14%. So I told them, I was like, you guys step up and shoot the ball with confidence. And I've seen it the last couple of days. It seemed like everybody was hitting front rim, and we weren't really getting over the rim, and maybe it's legs, and I've been very concerned about trying to make sure we keep these guys fresh because we really do have a short bench, and something I'll have to be mindful of in the coming days.
Josh, I don't have the final box, but Jesse gets a double-double, and I'm guessing he probably maybe took the fewest shots of all the starters tonight. Just your thoughts on that, and how do you kind of get that to evolve as the season goes on with him?
Well, they did what they had to do defensively because they knew their inadequacy in terms of we had the advantage with Jesse down low. Now, did we have the advantage if he made the right play and got in the right people's hands? I think he got to a point where he's forcing some things, and sometimes Jesse's just going to have to play the part, and he sees the double coming and make the right pass. And I probably forced it a little too hard, but I wanted to get him as many touches as I could. But you said how many field goals did he shoot there? 7. Yeah, we got to get him more shots one way or another. But we certainly have a short bench, and we've been playing with a lot of different rotations in the last few days to try to figure out some chemistry in the offensive end. But I didn't think it was going to be that bad in the first half. But I feel like everybody locked in and figured out a way to execute the sets in the second half, which really made a difference.
Josh, obviously you're going to tell them, hey, keep shooting, shots are going to fall. But was it important that they were saying the same things to themselves coming off the court at halftime, that they had already figured out that same message, not to get their heads down?
Yeah, I mean, confidence is so big in basketball. It can make it or break you in so many ways, and I'm not the type of coach that's gonna wear them down. And I mean, I'm gonna try to build them up as much as I can. And I think there's an immense amount of pressure on those guys, and I hate to use the word selfish, like I said earlier, but they're trying to break off the offense, and things work a heck of a lot better when everybody's on the same page and execute the sets the way we draw them up.
Josh, before the game, I noticed that whole front row behind your bench looked like your family and friends and grandfathers and everything else. You hugged every one of them. You kissed most of them. What was going through your mind at that point in time? I mean, first debut here and the likes.
Everybody kept on telling me. I kept on hearing the same message. Sit back and enjoy it. Take in the moment. Smile a little bit. And, it's hard to do. It's easy to say. It's hard to do. I can smile a lot better now, and I got that kind of the sense of relief and got that first one under my belt. But yeah, I had it was special yesterday. I had a table for 20 at Oliverios with every single one of them was an Eilert. So I got a big Catholic family, and they're excited to back me, and so 2 of my cousins and their families and one of my brothers came up and made a weekend of it to support me, and it means so much to me that they made that effort and somebody to celebrate with tonight.
Big table was a big bill, right?
Yeah, it was a big bill.
Who picked it up?
I did.
When you go through that, you got your family there, you're flying high. This is my first game, and what was the first half like? I mean, nothing.
I wasn't flying high in the first half by any means. I was sitting there looking up at the ceiling a couple times, like, what did I get myself into? And but like I told the guys, I mean, we couldn't have shot it any worse in the first half. So the law of averages, came into play. So we shot it better, and I don't know what we end up for the game, but even our rebounding was a little better. 46 boards, and so the majority of our goals came true. I mean, we really took care of the ball. I always tell these guys, when we keep it under 9, we're in good shape. So with a backup point guard, 2 backup point guards with Kobe and JB, we only turned it over 7 times against a very good defensive team in Missouri State, and that's where they hang their hat, and they really gave us trouble. So credit to them and their program. They really gave us a rock fight there.
Players are saying after the game they gave you a Gatorade shower or water.
Yeah, that I had to change my shirt. It was more of a Gatorade. It was more than just Gatorade. I mean, I couldn't see there for a couple minutes. It was special. I love each and every one of these guys, and they're the reason they're a part of our program. And I have an immense amount of trust in them, and I hope it goes both ways, and I think it does. And we keep on building that chemistry and keep moving forward. So I'm excited about our guys and our roster and our staff, and I think we're going in the right direction. We've had some bad luck and things haven't went our way, but I say bad things come in threes. I think it came in about a dozen for me. So I hope that turns around and we start riding the tide the other direction.
Josh, down just 6 at the half. I think you guys probably would say you didn't play very well, but that's reasonable, under 9. Any reason, like with a lot of free throws, but any reason for that, or just any contributing causes to being down just 6?
I mean, they had their problems scoring too. I mean, they certainly shot it a lot better in the second half, but they had their problems scoring. And it was hard to sit there and look at that offensive production that really was inadequate. And I keep on saying our offense has changed and we're way more efficient. So I thought I was going to have to eat my words, but we turned it around in the second half.
You look at the box and what Seth gave you, like 98% of that was the first 7 minutes of the second half. He's obviously a streaky shooter over his career, but how do you get what he did in those 7 minutes and spread it out over 40?
I'm going to take credit for his bad shooting in the first half, and I thought a lot about my dad, and he'd be really proud, and he'd be here. I lost him 6 years ago. It wasn't long after that Seth lost his dad, and I told him before the game, I said, Seth, your dad would be mighty proud of you. And so, he got a little emotional. I got a little emotional. He said, Coach, you can't do that before the game. So I'll take credit for the way he shot in the first half, just because I put that on him. But I did want him to know how much how proud his dad would be of him and how far he's come. And he's had some resiliency and stuck through it. And now he's one of the guys we're going to rely on.
Hopefully got some good minutes tonight. The players talked about him being like a veteran and a freshman body. Could you kind of talk to what he brings to the team a bit?
No, he's been awesome. He certainly didn't have his best game out there tonight. He made a few mistakes, but I know I can count on Ofri. I've talked about it several different times. He really does have a high basketball IQ, especially for a freshman, one of the highest I've seen come through here, as a freshman. So once his body continues to develop, and he's going to be a very special player. He's already a special player, but as long as he has that growth mindset and continues to get better, he might be one of the best that ever play here as we move forward. That's a big thing to say, but that's how much I believe in him.
Along those lines, Seth gets hurt at the end there. I think you have a timeout left to put Ofri in. Do you think at all about give Seth 90 seconds to even get back in? And you had Ofri triggering on the inbound too, which...
Yeah, I mean, he was cramping for several minutes prior to. I think, he kept on. He fought through it, but that one was the big one that hit him. So I didn't think he was going to be very effective. So it made sense to get Ofer in there.
Defensively, what'd you think of your defensive effort? Offense struggled in the first half, better second, but what'd you think of the defense overall?
For the most part, good. Like the biggest problem we had was coming out of timeouts, and I told those guys in the locker room afterwards, we got to lock in on these timeouts. We got to be on the same page. I think we threw a 2-3 zone out there at one point, and there's 4 guys on the same side. I'm like, what are we doing? So I think it got lost in translation because we did try to switch the defense several times to keep him off guard, but we lost track of some guys, and they made shots. And credit to them, they made them.
Is part of that just figuring out how to run everything? I mean, I know you had the not so secret scrimmage and an exhibition game, whatever, but you still got to kind of figure out how everything works and go through that as a staff. Is that part of the learning process?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're learning. I'm learning as a new head coach. My assistants are all fairly new assistant coaches, but we're all on the same page. We just got to make sure we're communicating very well with these guys, so we're coming out of these timeouts, we're all on the same page. But they're building their chemistry. We're building our chemistry as a staff each and every day. I think everybody has an immense amount of trust and belief in each other. We just got to keep that going and keep that growth mindset.
Coach,
How important for your team? Go ahead.
Obviously, the situation Kobe was in, 8 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. What did you see out there? What did you think, with everything that he was?
Their strategy was to back off of Kobe. They were going to make Kobe beat us in the first half, and so they were sagging off him and jamming everything up in the paint. But Kobe took good shots. I don't think he's probably been in a position to where he had to be the guy, so he had to step up and make those. Now, first half and second half for Kobe was a tale of two halves. Kobe really got more aggressive, and I put him in a position to be more aggressive and take it downhill at the rim and take advantage of his size. And that's what we tried to do to begin the game, but it didn't really work out as well for us as I thought we would. I thought we could isolate him and put him on a smaller guard and score that early and get him going. So it didn't quite work out the way I planned, but that's kind of how it works in coaching sometimes.
Could you speak to the importance of this film breakdown as you guys move forward?
We got a quick turnaround. We'll have tomorrow off. We have to take tomorrow off. We have no choice, and then we got 2-day prep for Monmouth. So we'll watch some of that, but I think for the most part, they know what they did wrong, and you could tell by the difference in the two halves. They know what they did wrong. They just didn't execute. They broke the offense. So we'll break some of it down, but more so than not, then we're probably going to move on to Monmouth and get ready for Monmouth.
Good. Anything new with Cook or Raekwon?
Nothing I can report at this point.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.